こんにちは。トタロガイタノと申します。私はピロですね。よろしくお願いします。My name is Gaetano Totaro, and I'm a clown. When I was a kid growing up, I wanted to be president of the United States because I wanted to change the world. I never imagined that, in fact, I'd grow up to be a professional clown, let alone one living and working here in Japan. When I arrived here, I discovered that the kanji for the phonetic pronunciation of my name, Gaetano, kind of translates into funny foreigner. Gaijin no gai to tanoshi no tano desu ne. So needless to say, I was happily surprised. And I viewed that as a good sign and a good reason for me to be here in Japan. Now, the ancient art of clowning is much more serious than most people realize. Most people think you can just be born a clown, but in fact, just like all of the other arts, there's lots of serious studying, practicing, and commitment that goes into clowning. I started as a class clown in grade school, and I moved on to study theater in university and do an apprenticeship in the Italian Renaissance physical comedy form called Commedia dell'arte with the San Francisco Mime Troupe, and I'm also a proud graduate of the Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Clown College. The clown you see on the left is me in my Ringling Circus clown look. This larger-than-life clown was designed to project big expressions and huge emotions, especially in the large venues where circuses are held, because the audience is quite far away. But as I started doing more close-up work in smaller places, I realized, especially with my funny-looking natural face, why are you laughing? That I didn't need the makeup or the red nose necessarily. So the clown here on your right is my current clown look. Kawaii desho? Kawaii? Scary or cute? Well, actually, in the last few decades, there's been a trend to demonize the clown in popular culture. And it's no surprise that with images like these in the media, that some people develop coulrophobia, the fear of clowns. But I'm here to say that that's very unfortunate, especially given the historical placeholder of clowns throughout the ages and across many cultures in the world. In fact, the clown has held a sacred place in many cultures in the world. Now, the clown's job or role is not only to make people laugh, but it's as a social truth teller and a cathartic healer. Now, here are some examples of various clowns from a number of different cultures in the world and throughout time. Clowns hold a political and spiritual placeholder in many of these communities. For example, in the Native American and some Asian cultures, the clown took on the role of shaman. In the European cultures, the court jester often had exclusive permission to make fun of the royalty or the elite. And even in the church, on the Feast of Fools' Day, the priests were given permission to make fun of the church, the beliefs and the traditions. So, 楽しいでしょ? みんな分からなかったね. It's interesting, you didn't know that, でも、Tohoku 関係ある? Is there a connection to Tohoku? Well, I'm not a psychologist or a sociologist or a therapist, but as a clown, after the tsunami, I realized that I had a special set of skills that could be very, very important in the epic Tohoku relief effort. I knew that it was now my turn to invoke the sacred healing energy of my clown ancestors. And that's why I created the Niko-Niko Taishi Smile Ambassador Program. So please take a moment and look at this video. お願いします。The Niko-Niko Taishi Smile Ambassadors Program provides care and support for mental and emotional health issues. We reach out to children, teachers, caregivers, families, and communities with a dynamic, highly interactive, and therapeutic support program. Kids of all ages need to process and let go of their stress, frustrations, and grief in a safe and nurturing environment. Our shows and workshops promote healing by sharing joy, stimulating imagination, and building confidence and self-respect. The Smile Ambassador Program has 3 elements: Showtime, English Circus Playtime Workshops, and Follow-Up. Laughter is the best medicine. It boosts the immune system, increases body oxygen levels, and releases endorphins and serotonin in the brain. Our silly, bilingual shows are designed not only to tickle funny bones, but to expand perceptions, play with expectations, and inspire imaginations. We teach juggling, balancing, clowning, magic, and music to empower positive self-esteem, confidence, and respect, and to promote an "if I can do that, I can do anything" attitude. Group exercise builds communication, trust, and camaraderie, and using basic English in conjunction with fun new challenges reinforces ongoing English lessons in the school. Initial visits plant seeds of joy, and follow-up visits nurture what has taken root. Repeat visits are essential for long-term mental and emotional health, and they are reminders that people outside still care. Since April of 2011, we have visited over 100 unique locations and interacted with over 8,500 affected children throughout the Tohoku region. Nico-Niko Smile. The goal of our ongoing program is to continue offering PTSD relief, to train teachers, caregivers, and parents how to recognize PTSD issues and to facilitate care, to be ready to mobilize and act in the case of any future traumatic events, and to help other populations in need, like orphanages, hospitals, and women's shelters. By helping us to continue spreading laughter and love, sharing skills that will inspire, and nurturing healing, self-respect, and hope, you too can be a Smile Ambassador. Smile! Thank you very much. どうもありがとうございました。Thank you. So PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder awareness, varies from community to community. Some communities are more sensitive to these problems and have created comprehensive therapeutic or workshop programs to deal with troubled kids. Unfortunately, many communities have taken the opposite approach, and they're in denial. They've decided just to gambaru and move forward as if nothing ever happened. So I'm here today not only to bring light and shed awareness on the post-traumatic stress issues, but I'm also here to remind you, as open-minded, broad-thinking members of the TEDx community, that these children are the people who will grow up to inherit the new and improved Tohoku that many of you are working so hard to create. When I first started Niko-Niko Taishi program, the translation into English was ambassador. I was the smile ambassador, singular. But I've since added an S because I know I'm not alone. Artists, teachers, environmentalists, designers, people like the presenters that you saw today and like the people who are sitting next to you. We all can add a little extra joy, a little extra happiness, and a little extra love into what we do. And we each do our own thing so uniquely that we all can be Niko-Niko Taishi. Together, we can change the world one smile at a time. Thank you very much.